And finally tonight, we've noticed a disturbing trend amongst politicians trying to earn your vote, earn your favor, and tell you, hey, I'm cool, vote for me. It starts with Beto O'Rourke.
For a yellow bone, long hair star, thick in the hips, come get in my car.
Yeah. Then Gretchen Whitmer.
Hey, so you bagged him. I'm a savage. Yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty. Yeah. Acting stupid. What was happening? What was happening? I'm a savage. Yeah.
I don't know, if you're Gretchen Whitmer and you shut down the state of Michigan and kept kids out of school and prevented people from boating or fishing or doing anything fun, maybe you shouldn't dance to nasty music. That said, this all reminds us of what Hillary Clinton attempted to do in 2016. Remember this?
I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
I feel like I should give you a trigger warning before I do that. Okay, here's the trigger warning. One more Hillary.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
And they're all Democrats, by the way, and they're all basically the living personification of this very famous Steve Buscemi meme.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
As usual with anything out on the internet that annoys the heck out of me, it's got to be Doug Blair's fault, our producer and correspondent. It's not your fault, but it's your generation's fault. You know that they're all saying, oh, we got to get to the young voters. Right. Here, Hillary, do this. Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah. On behalf of all millennials, all Gen Z types, I do apologize horribly for the Pokemon Go thing.
Does it work, though? I mean, do your friends see this and go, oh, wow, look at Hillary, she's so cool?
I think that's the thing, is that the perception amongst these Democrats is that they are so insulated in these bubbles that they're like, oh man, like when I say Pokemon Go, that's what young people like. Oh, I'm gonna get all the votes. And then, as you saw in 2016, didn't quite work.
No, but Beto O'Rourke goes on TikTok and starts dancing about letting a young woman abort her baby, and like with a hip action. It's creepy and stupid.
It's weird, and I think there's this also perception that like politicians have to be relatable, right? Like I'm not going to vote for somebody that doesn't know how to do those dances on TikTok when I just want to pay less in taxes. I want to make sure that I can fill up my car with gas and I can afford to eat. You know?
Yeah, exactly. If you elect me, inflation will get worse and there's going to be violent crime. By the way, I promise never to do this again on camera.
This COVID restrictions.
This is a problem. And then Gretchen Whitmer, I mean, she is, all right, I'm going to give her a tiny bit of a pass here because she is probably the wholly most unlikable politician in America today. There is nothing likable about her. There's nothing relatable about her. She seems cold as ice. So I guess somebody said, you got to do something to loosen up.
Well, I'm going to say Gretchen Whitmer doesn't need any help to be unlikable. That TikTok clip really didn't help. Sorry, Gretchen, it wasn't very good. But again, I think that it gets back to this point that like they're trying to distract from the actual issues with relatability. You can't pay your bills. That's one thing. But look at me dance on TikTok.
All right, so you promised me this isn't going to work, though, right? Because I'm not going to lie. I don't have a high regard for your generation's voting patterns so far. I mean, you got to show me something here.
Ouch. I mean, but no, you're right. That I don't think that this is going to pan out in a sense that like voters are going to say, well, I was on the fence between Beto and Greg Abbott, but all of a sudden I saw him on TikTok. Let's go for Beto.
Why is it that only Democrats do this, right? I mean, is it because Republicans know they'll look like idiots and they just don't even want to try? Is it because they don't hire a whole lot of young campaign staffers, maybe, so no one even comes up with the idea?
I mean, Larry, it's a great question because I think that when young people are sort of pigeonholed into voting patterns, they always think that they vote for Democrats. And I think that Democrats believe that in order to keep that block, they have to relate to them. Republicans maybe are going in with this perception that, like, we don't generally do as hot with them, which they shouldn't have that perception. They are doing quite well, especially as we've seen with a lot of these different candidates. They are actually pulling in younger voters who recognize that the lies of the Democratic Party are just that, they're lies.
Well, here's what I'd like to think. I'd like to think that Republicans or conservatives or, the grown-ups in the room, they lead with their ideas, they lead with their policies, they lead with their track records, they lead with their values, they lead with their principles, they lead with the concept of the government's actual role in your lives, no matter how old you are. And if that's not relatable enough and you only want to vote for somebody who does this on a TikTok video, when talking about making sure you can kill your unborn baby, then fine, I'm okay losing that vote.
Exactly.
I'm hoping that's what they're doing, but we'll see on Tuesday.
Well, let's hope that those young voters shimmy their way to the polls and maybe vote for the GOP.
That's it for tonight's O'Connor Tonight. You have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. In the meantime, well, I can't. We'll see you on the radio.